Nós estamos aqui com o professor Carl Winslow. O professor Carl, ele é professor no Departamento de Didática da Ciência e da Matemática na Universidade de Copenhague. Ele, então, veio aqui na Faculdade de Educação proferir uma palestra sobre os fundamentos da teoria antropológica do didático, que é uma teoria que tem sido bastante utilizada no campo da educação matemática e da educação em ciência também, e que tem, vamos dizer, pretensões e tem tido impacto num campo mais amplo dos estudos na área de didática, né? Então eu vou propor aqui algumas questões para o professor Carl, para ele abordar um pouquinho esses pressupostos, as ideias básicas da teoria antropológica do didático. So Carl, thanks a lot to stay with us, to be here. And I want you to ask about the origin of ATD, the anthropological theory of didactics, and the relation with the didactical transposition theory, which is more known in Brazil. So
yes.
Could you talk a little bit about that?
It's the historic context is in fact one which is present in many areas of the world around 1970. There were some big reforms of mathematics teaching in school and high school, where the big aim was to put school mathematics closer to scientific mathematics, the so-called new mathematics reform. And this made it, the problems with this reform made it very evident to researchers that that it is an illusion that you can simply copy a scientific field into school. It doesn't work. You cannot do that. So the didactic transposition was born as a way to articulate inquiry into to this problem and how this transformation indeed that happens from science to school takes place. So I would say the anthropological theory has grown organically, naturally, out of this inquiry, which motivated didactic transposition theory, and it's nowadays an international program of research, even if it is very clear that it originated in France and Spain especially. So the first years it was developed mainly there, also for language reasons, that the main texts were available only in Spanish and French, but this is changed rapidly over the last 10 years, and so nowadays we have a really lively field of research, and the theory of situations is part of that. I would say it's part of the same movement, although it has slightly different aims and functions. The theory of situations is a design science theory from the beginning, more oriented to experiment in classrooms with questions that are of a more fundamental nature, and it's perhaps also historically more closely linked to mathematics as a research field, but that is a hypothesis of mine.
So the other question is about the impacts. So what kind of contribution you think ATD could give to didactical area of research, and especially to teach or to teachers and the process of teaching and learning in mathematics and science in schools?
Yes, of course, this is the big question. How can we help society and schools? And it's a very important question also in ATD, because much of our research is motivated by the experience that, in fact, mathematics in school, science in school, is not always as meaningful to the students as it could be, as we know it could be. And the results of teaching in school is not always what it should be. So, of course, the research in anthropological theory of didactics ultimately aims at improving this situation, and it also constructs very specific tools that can work in the hands of teachers. Let me just mention the idea of research and study course, which is to turn around in a way the common organization of teaching, where normally you have a lot of big answers which are presented to the students, but the questions are not really there, or they're only very small questions, but the big questions for society, for civilization, that motivated the development of this scientific knowledge is absent. So to turn that around, we need to put the questions in the foreground, put the big questions in the foreground, and then let scientific knowledge grow out of that. And of course that sounds like a bit easy to say, and indeed it is hard to do, but that's what we try to develop tools and supports for teachers to do.
Okay. So thank you very much, Carl, to be here with us. It was very nice to have you in the speech and now. E bom, a gente agora finaliza aqui essa pequena entrevista, né? Eu acho que o professor Carl pôde apresentar um pouquinho essa relação entre a teoria da antropológica do didático e a própria teoria da transposição didática, que é mais conhecida aqui no Brasil, enfim, exatamente colocando essa relação entre essa ideia de que a ciência, o conhecimento científico, o conhecimento matemático, ele não é ensinado na escola de uma forma pura, mas que ele passa por processos de transformação. E a ideia é que a teoria da antropológica do didático é um desdobramento, um desenvolvimento natural dessa primeira perspectiva apontada por vários autores aí que trabalham com esses campos, né? E pode também comentar com a gente um pouquinho os impactos disso e a importância desse tipo de pesquisa para a área de educação, para a área da didática e para o ensino especificamente de matemática e ensino de ciências.